Hi, this is Kale from Logistics Insider, and joining me is Mr. Vineet Malhotra. He's Director, Kale Logistics. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, considering that you're in the panelist of integrated logistics, I'm going to start by asking you a question on that, on technology. I'm sorry.
Sure.
So, a McKinsey global survey of executives showed that COVID-19 response has hastened the adoption of digital technologies relating to customer and supply chain interactions as well as internal operations by 3 to 4 years. So, what are these techs to arc out for in 2030?
Right. If you were to see one of the most fundamental shifts, which is happening because of technology, and I'll give you a parlance first in terms of what has happened in our personal life. In the last 10 years, we're all now connected through all these social media stuff. You have Facebook, where you're connecting with family and friends. You have LinkedIn, which is connecting you, on business to business, etc. Now think about logistics in the supply chain and multimodal supply chain. That isn't the case. There are pockets of digitization which essentially happen, which a large company, for example, MSC would do in digitization. But what about, the whole supply chain itself? And our supply chain across the world is characterized by a lot of SME players who may not have the wherewithal, the whole element of how to go about this digitization. So I think the next shift, which is already happening, and the World Customs Organizations, World Bank, etc., everybody is looking at how do we have collaborative platforms which connect all these stakeholders. So I think if in the next 5 years, and the journey is already started during COVID, you will see a lot of people getting connected. And these platforms which connect all of this, and using obviously multiple ways of technology to enable all of that, is the future to go.
Well, sir, when we speak about technology, we cannot leave data behind, and logistics industry has made it very clear that data is king. So I just want to understand, how can prioritizing first-party data, as in getting the data from your customer directly, help boost the agility and help the business find a success in the immediate term?
Right. So clearly, if you were to look at, again, if I was to cite what is the business of logistics and how it has changed over a period of time, it was all about the fact that moving and storing goods. Now it's also about the fact moving and storing goods and moving and storing information which accompanies it. Okay. And there is a plethora of information which is getting connected, and there is so much of data. Now I spoke about the collaborative platforms. One of the powers of collaborative platforms is there is data coming from several sources. It's coming from private participants, it is coming from government participants, and it's the complete trade data. So in fact, we've been working on actually utilizing that in terms of looking at, for example, if you get to an airport, and if I was to talk of Hyderabad airport, which is in fitness of things because this event is happening here, and look at the data that is there, how can they use that data from different sources to be able to look at what could be their demand or what could be the constraints which could possibly come in using AI. So in several of such use cases on big data is something which will become a reality in the logistics sector thanks to the fact that the collaborative platforms would come in.
Well, sir, lastly, we are here at the conference. So how are you liking the conference and the importance it holds for the industry?
Right. So, this conference in Telangana, in Hyderabad, I think, that's something that was long due. I think there is a distinguished, gathering here, the panelists which are there, and it's obviously on multimodal. I think if you were to look at the discussions which are going on, very interesting. And also the fact that post-pandemic, this is the way to go. One-to-one interactions, talking about the industry, meeting stalwarts, and I think that all of that is being accomplished here in the event.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah.